What up, though, Detroit? So, you already know the deal. Just giving a shout out to Petty Tupac TV. Like, comment, subscribe. You already know the deal. We have to support everybody's businesses, and you already know how it goes. We support each other. You know what I'm saying? Make Detroit win.
What up, though? You already know how I go. Make sure you smash, like, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment. As long as you comment, you dig. I'm about to drop y'all one real quick. Let's talk about this situation that took place in Detroit with the Lansing boys, the 3 rappers. I don't believe all of them was from Lansing. I think one was from maybe Muskegon. I'm not sure. But I definitely know the boy Whoop Marley, and that's Monty Kelly. That's the light-skinned one. That's his parents that was out front vocal about the disappearance of these guys. So they were booked for a show. They were supposed to perform in the lounge off Gratiot 7 Mile. It ended up getting canceled because of so-called technical difficulties or something like that. I'm not sure if the club is cooperating or know anything about it. It hasn't been said yet. So I guess they come down there. And mind you, too, I'm getting this from a source that know these people, right? Prolific guy, man. I want to have him on, but I'm not gonna say his name at the moment. But he called then like me and tell me, get on and say something about it. But this dude, y'all gonna love him if he come on, man. Nevertheless, though, these guys was booked for the show, so on and so forth. They ended up in Warren, then they ended up in the Highland Park area at a partially abandoned apartment building. Now, if you see this apartment building on the news, it got boards on it and everything. It's such a bad rat infestation. Police couldn't go right in and get the evidence and collect it and stuff like that because it was just bad, right? So with that being said, who tricked these guys, 3 men with brains, to come into an apartment building? If you ask me, I think the guy with the podcast, that's the one people know more that I talk to. He wasn't real street, like super street guy. He was more into this lifestyle for validation. You dig? And end up doing a crime, going to prison, becoming a blood, and not necessarily understanding and realizing the power of his voice and the politics behind this, right? So on his live, as I'll show you in the video, he was talking about a character named Debo.
What's that shit called? Downtown in the circuit or the district, whatever the little one is, across from the Capitol. We was all in it. When we was in, Ra was like, yeah, bro, that's my brother, but he bugs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wasn't nobody. You know what I'm saying? I was nobody. I was just Northside, Turner Street Moral, you feel me? But, Turner Street Moral, you feel me? But, I knew it. Because everybody in the streets, if you played the streets a little bit, you heard about dog had did what he did, man. We was in prison in level 5. He a peace stone. He moving. I know some lords. Crazy K just went back to the joint. You know what I'm saying? He came home and banged straight out. Caught a carjacking. And that's like his 3rd double back on everything. So, bro, Crazy K across the hall from me. This is the first time I ever wrote a book. Crazy K had the idea, the plot for it. I wrote it up. And Crazy K said he with Damien, he with Debo. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'm like, well, listen, with dog, I'm gonna be 100. I'm just out there. This is what I know. Ain't nigga from Lansing, I tell you the exact same thing. We know all that happened. You feel me? We all know it happened. I just don't got the paperwork. I was in the world when it happened. Everybody knew. You know what I'm saying? Any Lansing that was out there in the streets, no. You know what I'm saying? Had a lot of love, a lot of respect for he did that. For real. You know what I'm saying?
Debo was just a robbing guy, just had a long spree of robberies when he was living. And he was so good at it and so bad at the same time. Guys from Detroit came up to Muskegon and got him out the way, crashed into his car, put it on the curb, pinned it up, and riddled it with bullets. Armani, that's Marley Wu, the light-skinned guy, he was on live talking about Debo was a snitch. A lot of people love Debo. A lot of people love Debo. A lot of people want to keep his name alive. A lot of people want to follow in his footsteps. He was talking about figures that got a lot of support out here. And I keep telling you, whether you're a snitch or not, when you in the streets and you really like that, nobody gonna do nothing with you, and the guys still gonna ride with you because they know they not like that, and they know what possibly could happen to them. You did what I'm talking about? So he talking about this guy saying he put him on the floor, so on and so forth. And me personally, from what I know about Debo, I think he might have said it in the hole or said it on the yard, but I don't think Debo was on that same yard. I don't think Debo was on that same yard because he, from what I hear and what I know about him, he would have got busy right then and there. When you don't have the paperwork as a blood in the first place, you're not about to be talking about another blood or another organization if you have no paperwork or nothing to validate what you're talking about. So he on live with these guys talking what he talking. And they making fun of him, kind of clowning him with his bandana on and stuff like that. You could tell, like, they ain't really liking and digging what they say. They facial expressions behind that mask, their body language, it wasn't matching what they were saying when they was giving them props about starting the podcast and all. It didn't feel genuine, and they kept looking behind them, and they so dumb, they put the other guy on camera that don't got a mask on. They probably wouldn't even knew who he was, and unless they had pictures on that Facebook Live. So anyway, and they got two people, because somebody was riding around in Armani Kelly truck, a 15-year-old, and his mama minivan. You see how dumb these guys is to do crimes? And the big picture in this too is, when you're doing stuff like me, I put some things on the floor sometime, and it's usually a reason behind it. And I'm just telling you what's going on in prison, what's this and that. It's dangerous. I got to think about that. That give me something to reconsider. That's like a lesson. Like, you got to watch where you go and who you interview, because there's somebody out there that don't like what you said. I said something about a guy named Rambo X. There's two Rambos. One of them, he hit me up because somebody, probably Von Hill or one of them, probably typed him, told him or something. I don't know. Somebody, whoever be reporting my stuff, right, to people that's in prison. And he called me and he like, man, I never forced nothing on nobody, this and that. I appreciate you keep my name out your mouth. Look, homie, I was telling the stories that I either seen, heard about, know this fact, because there's multiple accounts of this. Or, like I said, just what I know and know you to be. But I got to think about it. The Rambo X that got offended, I don't think I was talking about him in a particular segment, but the one that got offended, killer. He been in prison since he was 15, 16 years old. That was almost 30-something years ago. I think he damn near 50 now. He been in prison since he was 15 or 16, incarcerated since 15, and he's damn near 50. He might get out here in society and somebody bring up what I said. And I ain't got nothing to lose, man. He put me on, but he might be so, because prison does something to an individual that I can't describe in words. I've been trying to tell y'all this. When anybody go to prison for a significant amount of time, it changes them. And I don't know if that's reversible. I don't know if you can reverse that. So at any particular time, he could set me up with an interview, blow my head off for speaking on his prison conduct and what he was involved with, or what he thought I said. The whole thing with the blood interviews and the big homies calling me about what Baby James, 82 Baby J said, or you want to go by JZA. I don't know what's up with all these names, but whatever. He could have easily put in a phone call to say, hey, do that interview with Dog and get him gone. And you got some dummy that actually think that he could go message me on Instagram, set it all up, smoke me, and they're not going to look back at the Instagram. It's somebody out there to think that they could get away with that type of crime. Or I could just be, somebody could see me just walking out and get me gone, and I wouldn't even know it. who it come from. So when you doing this, you got to be real careful. It's a bigger lesson than all this. You got to be real careful, even if it's facts that you speaking on. Don't think you like Gilly the Kid and them and whoever put Gunna on the floor or him, where you could talk on the internet and walk out with security. Just everyday people like me and a lot of people that's doing this. When you outside, you never know who might take offense to that. Who might be a devout loyalist. So anyway, they get these boys in an apartment building, smoke them all. That show you not really street savvy. Something in my head would have told me, why would I be going in here? And if you let this person drive you from one place to another under gunpoint, I would have just took my chances jumping out the car and him shooting. E40 said it best. You gonna have to kill me. I ain't getting off in nobody's trunk. I'm not getting in nobody's trunk. Why would I get in your trunk so you could take me somewhere, smoke me, and there ain't no repercussions to it? I'd rather fight him off and get a flesh wound. That's what 40 said. I'd rather fight him off, risk getting a flesh wound than getting up in somebody's trunk. That show you these ain't really super street guys you dealing with. Because I would have went nowhere near there. As soon as I see in the park, what are we going in here for? Walking here. Nope. I'm going to take my chances running and zigzagging. Hope you got some good aim, buddy. Got to be real careful who you talking about, calling people certain things. Now, I don't know if dude did tell or whatnot, but the police damn near got it all figured out. These boys about to go away. This made national news. The judge, Kim Worthy, got to make an example out of these boys. Got to. She going to offer, whoever involved, she going to offer one. Here, you get the 20 ball. Rest of them, they go to trial. We're forced to go to trial, give them natural life. Or let them cop out to the 30 ball. 30 plus 2 for the gun. You'll be home in 32 years. 2000, what, 55? You'll be home in 2055. No big deal. Cars will be flying by then. You got to watch your actions and what you do too, man. Running around how these guys, you got to really think about the crime that you're about to commit. 2050 something, at least. And the guy that they offer the 22, when he look at those numbers, or they offer him the 15 plus the 2 or the 16 plus the 2, he gonna look like, damn, I'm 15, I can at least get out around 39, 40, they bring back good time. Shoot, that's better than getting out when I was 58, 57, 60. He gonna roll and tell everything. Then he gonna go join the Muslim group probably, and ain't nobody gonna be able to do nothing to him if unless you really want to go to war on every yard. He gonna live peacefully a lot of them years. 10, 15 years from now, ain't nobody gonna care about it. Them boys is done. Trick these boys up off the streets, man. They went live, being weird, clowning this guy. Gave the police the suspects and the motive right there. You got the motive, you got the suspects. All you banking on is somebody to crack. They got one guy in Tennessee that's on a parole violation. Got another guy, they're going to extradite him, I think, back up here. You got the little kid driving around in a dead man's truck. My condolences go to all their families. They essentially died over what one man did. 2 other people. While we talking about Lance and free the boy Shaitan Coast, that's Hot Boy Tusi. We're going to do a story on him. Peace and blessings be upon y'all, man. Big 5.
Hey y'all, what's up? I just want to give a shout out to Petty Tupac TV. Make sure you go smash, like, and don't forget to subscribe. For real, for real.
Petty Tupac TV, you already know. Tap the fuck in, man. We running this shit up. ABF or die, bitch.
Yeah.